Known to many as a life coach, professional speaker, and counseling psychologist. And now he can add author to the list of credentials. White's first book, Fishing for Reality, also happens to be the first self-help book ever released in this province, and its teachings largely come from the wisdom that White learned from his mentor and grandfather, Skipper Michael Joseph Bruce. Skipper was a fisherman and a teacher, so earlier today, Chrissy met with Paul down by the harbour to fish for some food for thought.
You know, Paul, at one time, I'm sure fishing in the harbour was a reality for a lot of people. Not so much anymore. Let's just hope we don't catch anything here now.
We don't want to catch anything here, I don't think.
Now, one of the things that I find the most charming about your book is that you really get the sense that what you've written about is wisdom from the ages, wisdom that's been passed down from your grandfather, who was a fisherman.
Definitely, and that's maybe the metaphor of fishing. People came to North America way back to fish. And him and his father on the high seas, I mean, they lived the positive thinking, self-help stuff. They lived that stuff daily. The old philosophies of, helping your fellow man and doing whatever it takes to weather the storms of life.
And back in that time, I mean, goodness knows there was no such thing as self-help books or even media. I mean, you really had to go with what you got in your own life experience.
Definitely, and grandfather's father, he was a community leader, could sway the vote in the whole community come election time. And so, my grandfather picked up a lot from him. And I guess it all comes back from the ancient philosophies of the Bible and stuff like that. Life experience being probably your best teacher. That a lot of times you get it wrong in order to eventually get it right.
Absolutely. So, I mean, what do you remember about your grandfather these days? I mean, when you have to pause and you have to regroup your own thoughts, just like now when we're not getting any fish, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, he was an incredible man. He was always happy. It didn't matter. Every day was a good day. And it's what you did to make the most of it. And he was always one to teach you to stick up for your rights. And I know some people, they're hurting, they're in jobs where they're being harassed, they're in difficult situations in relationships. And he always said, don't take it. You have God-given rights to speak up for yourself, speak out. And, that's more so needed today, than ever.
Just before we came out here and cast our lines, you told me that your grandfather was the type of man that wanted for nothing but gave everything that he had, and it came back to him tenfold.
And that, I guess, comes from the John F. Kennedy philosophy, too, of ask not, what the province, what the community can do for you, but how can I help? How can I be of service? And that's what he did, and things showed up. So I think people should go to relationships or jobs to give and not necessarily to get. And once you understand that, you live a life like he did, where everything just showed up, and you just give and give and give, and things just happen. It's incredible.
It sort of rings true now with what we hear about karma and investing yourself to get back and this kind of stuff. But this is just stuff that the fishermen just always knew, hey?
That's right. And he said, the real ship you're leading is the ship called yourself, and you got to look inward first. Once you settle that score, then anything is possible. And I now believe that.
As soon as you open up your book, there's a really great quote. Tell us what it is.
It's by Henry David Thoreau, and he says, the greatest tragedy is to spend your whole life fishing and then discover that it wasn't really fish you were after. And I think that's the whole self-development piece in a nutshell, that people go looking for things, to make them happy, to solve their pain, and really they got to look inward and find out what they're all about, and then go to work there and make things happen.
So fishing for reality is a larger metaphor for
improving your reality, to look at, let's take a snapshot, where am I, how am I doing? Mm-hmm. And, let's make that better. And that's what grandfather said, be responsible, that everything you have, you created.
And be responsible for changing it. Now, Paul, I don't want to scare you, but I think I've actually got something
Chrissy,
here.
you just had a rise there, and I am getting a little scared.
I'm going to drag this sucker out of here now. I think I got something.
You got something big.
Yeah, I know. All right, here we go.
Oh, my God.
Okay,
Lift.
You got... Whoa! What is this?
Bring it over.
Okay, listen. So what does this represent?
Not dinner.
Opportunity and lost causes?
Pretty much.
All right, well, this is some lucky seagulls brunch. So lesson learned, Paul. You'll always find the opportunity in a lost cause.
You will. Keep
Thanks
fishing.
so much. Will do.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Thanks a lot, Paul, and boy, you guys are quite